writers have been slacking, and this is one of the reasons the show got canceled after the 3rd season. But some of those same mistakes that almost killed the show persist to this day, and that's exactly what we'll be talking about. So, here is why the Lucifer cast can't stand the bad writing. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. How did Eve leave heaven? Now, here's something that's been bothering us ever since we first saw Eve among the world of mortals. The show talked about the fact that she managed to sneak out of heaven and come down to the world of the mortals to try and court Lucifer. Now, here's what's bothering us. Isn't God supposed to be all-knowing? Shouldn't he have anticipated that Eve would leave heaven and come to earth? How does he allow his first creation to just walk out of the pearly gates? And furthermore, how in the world did none of the guardian angels see her sneaking out?
I didn't want the fun to end.
What else are you hiding from me?
Nothing.
You're lying.
Number 9. Where did all the cash come from? To answer this, we will have to go back to Season 1. You see, the story began with Lucifer coming to LA and starting a successful nightclub by the name of Lux. Also, he is impeccably dressed in expensive suits and drives around in the most expensive cars. But how in the world did he get all of that money? Also, what does the devil know about running a business? From what we've heard, torturing souls is not the same as hosting a rave party. If it's magic the devil is using, they should have just said so. But then they had to talk about how one of the most successful nightclubs in LA just came into being. What, did the IRS get suspicious? If you want to know what the writers missed in terms of monsters, then just keep on watching until pick number 6. Number 8. Scooby-Doo? Is that you? Before we talk about how the show is tied to this classic cartoon, don't forget to smash that like button. It keeps the almighty YouTube algorithm happy, and you keep getting these videos for free. Episode after episode, the goal of the cartoon was one and the same. A bad guy appears, Scooby-Doo and the gang chase him for about 22 minutes, and then in the end they catch him and realize it wasn't actually a ghost. Well, guess the writers of the show were big fans of this cartoon, because that's pretty much everything that was going on in some episodes. Not even a hint of supernatural or biblical. Number 7. How long was Lucifer on Earth? Another thing that the writers decided to sweep under the rug was Lucifer's arrival on Earth. Now, we know he came here to get a break from hell, but the show never really talks about the when of Lucy's arrival. When Amenadiel comes to bring him back to the fiery pits of hell, he just tells him that it's not gonna happen. And still, they don't even hint at how long the devil has had to live in LA. Maybe he was there for about 10 years, working 9 to 5, saving his income to buy Lux. Number 6. Where are the 10-headed monsters? Now, when it comes to biblical accuracy, you can't help but realize that the show doesn't really include a lot of the 10-headed demons that Christianity has talked about. All of the demons just look like human beings, which is a serious letdown. We would have loved to see Ophanim, Behemoth, Leviathan, or any other demonic creatures. Then again, we just remember that the show's budget doesn't even come close to that of Game of Thrones. So, I guess be thankful we saw the devil in his true form, even briefly. Number 5. The power level needs to go to 9,000. Now, this is somewhat of a letdown. If the show is following the biblical narrative, then we're dealing with the second most powerful creature in the entire world. And in the show, we don't even get to see that. We completely forget that this is the demon we're talking about. Sure, there are some scenes where he displays superhuman endurance, strength, and invulnerability, but that's still nothing compared to the devil's true powers. Didn't the Bible teach us that they can turn into a snake, therefore shapeshift? Isn't he supposed to push people into doing evil things? Can't he send an army of demons to destroy anything and anyone he wants? But no, in the show, Lucifer does the exact opposite of this. The only time he sent demons was when he ordered them to go back to hell. Definitely not Old Scratch that we know from the Bible. If you want to know about the other things that the writers need to change about the devil himself, then keep on watching till the end. Number 4. Not enough mythology. Of course there isn't. That was one of the major reasons the show got canceled. Instead of it being a mythological show telling the story of Lucifer Morningstar and what he plans on doing on Earth, it seems like he's mostly focused on fixing his daddy issues. Bring in the angels, bring in the demons, bring on the epic fighting, and talking more about the actual history, the biblical stories, and fights that almost everyone knows. Instead, we get a show that's more detective than destruction. And now that we're on the subject of destruction, we have to talk about the fact that... Number 3. Lucifer isn't evil. This is not even slightly close to the biblical depiction of Satan, and we can safely say that the writers are slacking. First of all, why doesn't the devil make people want to do evil things? Why is he worried about punishing the bad guys instead of focusing on making more bad guys? Shouldn't he be the one that doesn't care about anything and anyone but himself? Shouldn't he be egotistic? To actually show you that the devil is definitely not evil, just look at Michael. He's depicted as the a-hole in the show instead of Lucifer. The devil, we know, wouldn't say that he doesn't want people blaming him for their wrongdoings. He would, in fact, tell people to do more stuff that is evil and wrong. Now, maybe it was because they wanted to make their main character more likable and someone fans could actually relate to, but the writers should have definitely made him more evil than he actually is. Number 2. Against the monogamy. It started off that way, and this was a sinful little pleasure that we loved seeing on the show. But then he fell in love with Chloe, and everything changed. The rave parties were almost gone, the orgies were non-existent, and basically, the devil is now off the market because he fell in love. Now, we know that any show, in order to be successful, needs to have some kind of true love, but the writers could have made Chloe find the love of her life, and Lucifer would, in his sick and twisted devilish way, help her. He could have been the sidekick, while also remaining the alpha and taking on any woman, man, or animal that he pleases. Although, we wouldn't like to see that last one on camera. And, finally...
My first love was never Eve. It was you, Chloe.
Number 1. The devil needs to grow some cojones. From the actors, to the fans, to pretty much everyone, is saying that Lucifer is more of a simp than an alpha. At least, he's slowly turning into one. From what we know about the devil, he should be the type of character that gets what he wants, when he wants, no questions asked. He can actually push people to do as he pleases. But no, instead of having a superpower like mind control, the writers have turned him into a babbling 16-year-old who loses his entire cool when he's near Chloe. Confidence and charm should be his main character traits, and this includes those moments when he's around Chloe. And as the show's plot progresses, we're seeing the writers move completely away from the original devil, and they're constructing one with whom we all can relate. On a related note, what do you think was the weirdest thing the actors got wrong? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.